we go. Hey guys, what's up? Another unannounced live session. I'm just editing photos, so I am going live whenever I'm bored and you guys are gonna keep me company. How about that? Let me get my pen and my tablet. I'm using this tablet here to edit because it's just much easier than, well, I don't know if it's much easier, but it's more precise than using the trackpad. Let me move this guy here out of the way. Oh, this is my chat box. I need to keep that, right? So yeah, welcome to my I'm bored photo session, not photo session, editing session. And I took a shower so I don't look like a bum like last time. Someone came into the chat and said, I look tired, man. Are you okay? Like, I don't know. I didn't have a haircut for a long time and I just got out of bed. I think that's what it was. Anyway, so I was editing Nikita's photos yesterday and I'm continuing with that. I have a few photos left on that session to edit. You know what? I'm going to hold on. You guys can still see me. I have trouble. Here we go. I had an extra window open that I don't need and it just makes everything slow. By the way, the chat's open for everyone, not just subscribers or whatever. Like there's limitations. I made it all open. So if you come in here, let me know, say hi. Tell me, hello, greetings from Lima, Peru. Wow, that's awesome. Lima, nice. I bet it is warm there right now. Oh wait, no, in Peru you're on the southern hemisphere, so you have winter now, right? I was in Peru once for a commercial. I did a soccer commercial, football commercial, not soccer. And that was a long time ago though. It was awesome. Yeah, so I was working on Nikita's photos. I did a session with her in south of Spain. She's a rhythmic gymnast, super cool. She's just awesome. And so we were like, I found her on Instagram actually. And yeah, she's done a lot of like, she does a lot of her reels, like she does a lot of gymnastic stuff and it's really cool. So yeah, we got together and did a photo shoot. And here are the results. I have to go through the photos like one more time. Usually when I go live, I have everything prepared and then like I'm just showing the photos that I picked and then we just start editing. This one, I'm just like, this is just like me working, right? So I didn't prepare anything. You see the raw, the raw me just editing photos. And I have to check that I have selected all the good ones. As you can see, like there's almost 2,600 photos from that session. That's just the photos, not even the videos, including the videos. So there's quite a few. And the reason is I'm shooting burst mode a lot, so you end up with a lot of photos. And then I have to go through and pick the best ones. And she's doing like crazy stuff, like, you know, like she's arching like, and then putting her foot down. So what I'm doing is I pick the one where the feet are like even and, you know, she's looking. Like here, she's looking down. She's trying to get her feet on the ground. And then here's a good one again. And I think I edited this one already. So I'm just going through these. Let me see. This is kind of a nice one, actually. Oh, here she's smiling. Let me see. Yeah, I could edit that one. I'm going to add that one. Let me know if you have questions. I'm totally open to answer any questions. That's why I keep the chat open and everything. So if you don't know me, if you just randomly stop by in this live because YouTube just showed you, I'm a professional photographer. I work with dancers and gymnasts, and I also do photos for models, so portrait stuff. And I've done a lot of commercial work for brands like mostly clothing brands that are in the athletic area. So yeah, and I'm currently in Germany. I was just in the UK for a week. Before that, I was in Spain. I'm going to travel to Belgrade in Serbia I was in Poland, and I was in the US for 22 years. I'm all over the place. Anyways, let's see if there's any other good ones I need to pick. Oh, this one was awesome. But, you know, when you're in this pose, like, it's hard to kind of find your balance. You don't know if you're straight and so, you know, one leg's a little higher. And she's like, which one? Especially when you're upside down, which she basically is, and has her back arched crazy like that. Sometimes you don't know which left and right is. So I ended up telling her mom's like, go there, grab her foot and pull it into a perfect horizontal and then just let go real quick. And then we'll take the shot. So that's what we ended up doing. I can also Photoshop her out. Let me see, because here she's got her foot pointing. Let me try that actually real quick. Why not? Let's do this. Let me zoom in a little bit so I can grab it a little more accurate. So what I'm using now is the remove tool in Lightroom, and there is an option to do like generative AI, meaning instead of just cloning areas from left and right, which the old the classic healing brush basically did, this one actually tries to generate something that's going to be that the system thinks that's what the background would look like. Yeah, it's did a good job on the background, but it made the foot look funny. No. Yeah, that's not good. Let me try one more time. You can regenerate, but usually it has a hard time generating hands and feet. Like, yeah, now there's nothing. Yeah, I don't know. No, that's not good. Oh well. Maybe I'm not using this photo then. Yeah. She did let go eventually. My only issue with that is when she let go. Actually, it's not bad. Let me see. There is a good one somewhere here. Well, that's decent, right? Yeah, I already did edit that. Here we go. All right. Oh, this one's good. I already picked that one. That is amazing. I need to do this. And, ooh, this is awesome. I need to edit that one for sure. This was just a public park. So in the morning, we went to the beach at actually at sunrise. So we got like the sunrise at the beach, which is really cool. We got some very cool videos from there and photos. And then we went to this park here. It's kind of a public park. And there weren't a lot of people. I don't know. It was a weekday. So that was really cool. Let's see. What do I need to do on this one? A little more saturation. I think the sky needs a little more something. What if I do my outdoor preset? By the way, guys, I'm using Lightroom, and I've been using Lightroom for many, many years, so I am pretty familiar with it. And since I'm just editing this session, I'm probably going faster than so it's not like I'm trying to do a tutorial. So if something that I'm doing that you don't quite understand, feel free to ask. Like, I don't know. Some of you might be like photographers as well, so you know exactly what I'm doing, and others might not. So feel free to ask. That's all. It's all good. Okay. I just basically just gave the sky a little more blue. It was probably a hazy day or something, so we weren't really getting the nice colors that you would expect. All right, so that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Maybe here. Let me turn this off. Just a little stain from sitting somewhere, I guess. Let's remove this here. Oh, she did some crazy stunts. I can't wait to edit the videos and and do and show and upload those because they're like, she's so good. She's amazing. She does crazy stuff. She did like a backflip off of a wall and like where I was like, this is crazy. Like, don't get hurt. But she's fine. She's fine. All right, let's see what else do we have here. I think there was one with straight legs, and I already picked that one, right? Did I? Point your feet. Here we go, yeah. There's the one, point your feet. That's good. Oh, and then we went into this tunnel. That was kind of a bridge over a busy road. And they built this caged, bridge so that people don't jump and don't throw stuff down on the road. But it was so cool because she was wearing that blue outfit and the whole bridge was like blue. So I was like, wow, this is cool. This is awesome. Let me actually do, this wasn't really a photo, but I thought that was cool. So I took one. I took these photos just to get an idea of the exposure and the light and everything there. Oh wait, no, that's not what I wanted. Actually, I do. Well, why is it so? There we go. A little brighter, maybe a little more contrast. There we go. Nice, nice. Anyways, what did I want to do? Oh, here we go. Yes, I think I did already pick a few. Let's see, where is the one that I haven't edited yet? Let me scroll down here. These are cool. Oh, she was just getting in her pose. Like, she placed her back foot, then she placed her front foot, and then she started looking at the camera. This is a good one. I really like that one. Let's pick that one. Nice. And she was just hanging there like crazy. Like, it's not like meant to be it's hard to hold on to this. Like, so she was just holding on and just, I don't know, she was up there for like, I don't know, several minutes. Crazy. Totally crazy. I would have I couldn't hold on to her, save my life. So if you'd like to share how and why did you become a professional photographer and how did you end up focusing on athletics? Good question. So how did I get into photography? I don't know really. Like I was always fascinated with photography. When I was 10 years old, I bought my first camera. So like I saved money that I got from, my allowance, whatever, and bought like a super cheap camera. I wanted to do photography. That was just the thing that I wanted to do. So I don't really have an explanation for that. There wasn't like a key moment. And so I wanted to become a photographer first, but then I also wanted to go to the movie industry, and that's actually ended up what my career was. So I was actually working in the movie industry for many, many years. I was an artist at DreamWorks Animation for 10 years in Hollywood. And then my own daughter started dancing, and that's how I got into like taking photos of them, and they showed it to the other parents and they were like, oh, this looks good. And I'm like, okay. And so there were people coming to approaching me like, hey, your photos are great. Can you take photos of my dancer? Like other parents came to me. And so it just became a business out of like just one thing that helped though, I was still working at DreamWorks, and I did some photography on the side. Not really like that crazy, but just a little bit. And then I started putting my stuff up on social media, and it blew up. It kind of like got like really big. Well, I don't know, really big, but for a photographer, like I got a lot of attention on Instagram the early days. And yeah, one thing led to another, and all of a sudden I was a full-time dance photographer, and it's been doing this for 15 years now. And then once you do dance, gymnastics is very similar. So gymnasts started seeing my work and kind of got interested in, and I had to learn that because, well, I had to learn dance as well because like dance, I was never a dancer myself. So I had to sit down with some dance teachers, and they told me like, what was important, like how the placements of the feet and the legs and the lines and all of that. Like I had no idea. So I had to learn a lot to get to the point where I could comfortably, do a session with dancers, knowing and understanding what they're doing instead of just clicking. Like as a photographer, you have to understand, really understand what you're taking photos of, in order to get a good shot. If you don't know what they're doing, what is a good moment, what is a good angle, what's important to them, you need to know all these things. Hello, on the previous live, you have mentioned a visit to Poland. How is it possible I have missed such local news? I don't know. I didn't make a big deal out of it. I had a gold session there, and I drove to Warsaw and did a gold session in the studio there. It was a little crazy because like I didn't know it was that long of a drive. Well, I kind of knew, but by the time I had set it up, I was, I already made the commitment and everything, and I'm like, wow, this is a long drive. But it was really fun. She was a gymnast, a rhythmic gymnast, and yeah, we rented a studio, and first I did photos, normal photos with her, and then we did kind of the same poses in gold. I think I posted a few photos already on my community thing. So yeah, I'd love to come back. I don't speak a word of Polish, so um, I I need either a translator or someone who speaks a little bit of English or German. That's the only language I can speak. Anyways, yeah. But yeah, it was fun. People were super nice. Everything was awesome. I really enjoyed my time there. Okay, let's see. This one's good. I think I actually picked most of the photos. I'm just gonna look. Actually, this is cool. Look at her. She's so awesome. Well, first of all, she's really good. Like, she's a really good gymnast, like, really strong and, like, flexible. And but he's also funny and, like, just such. She was really awesome to work with. Really, I really. We had a lot of fun that day. Her parents are kind of fun too. Her dad's Russian and her mom's from England, so it's an interesting combination. And they live in Spain, so she speaks 3 languages, which is cool. There we go. And there's that smile again. I didn't have to tell her to smile. She was just always in a good mood and happy. It was awesome. Um, if you look at the photos now, you're like, well, they look kind of like dull and like they don't have a lot of colors and a little darkish. So this is how I do the photo. So this is basically straight out of the camera, and this is the reason I'm shooting it that way is if you look at the histogram up here, see like how it's like all the colors and all the areas are like in the middle of the histogram, right? So nothing touches this area, nothing touches this area. So that's ideally how you should expose, because anything to the right of the histogram would be clipped off. It would be too bright, and anything that's like in this area is very dark and very noisy, and you don't have a lot of like the quality of these areas would not be very good. So you want to be more on the right side, but you don't want to touch this. And so this is what I'm doing when I'm shooting. I'm actually just looking technically, how do I capture this scene so the camera can capture it, like just from a technical point of view, from a data point of view, you know, how can I capture this to get the best quality out of each pixel? So that's what I do. I don't care about the colors. I don't care about the brightness. I don't care about the final look. That's what I'm doing in editing, right? When I'm on set, I only care about capturing the best quality possible. And that's a little bit of a technical approach. So I don't really care about the colors, and that's how it comes in at first, and then you have to obviously edit it. Anyways, long story short, let me look through here, and this is when I edit, then it looks like that, you know. Oh, here's that jump. Yes. Oh, this is actually really cool. She's so funny. Yeah, I think we definitely have to set up another session. That was really good. And we kind of, well, we didn't run out of time, but there's only so much you can do in a day, and I wanted to drive back, so it was in Spain, and I had almost a 3-day drive back. So we started very early, like at 7 a.m. or even before that. And I think then by 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, we were like, okay, we are good now. And then I took off. But maybe next time, I kind of want to shoot in a studio with her, because there's, when you shoot outside, it's always, I mean, this is a cool location, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do outside. Problem when you shoot outside, you can't control the light. You have to do whatever the sun is doing, right? And then so, let's say you have a really cool location, a really cool spot, and but then the light kind of hits the model really weird, and it makes a weird shadow on her face or something like that. And what are you gonna do, right? You can't tell the sun to move around for you. So there is, and then also in terms of the ground and things like that, there's always some limitations outside. You get rewarded with very cool backgrounds and super cool locations, but there's also limitations. And so since we've done all outdoor this time, I think next time we're gonna do something in a studio. We're still gonna shoot outside, but I want to do some studio with her. Hold on, let me see. Do we still see her face? Yeah, it's all good. Cool. It's one of my favorites jumps. God, I hope I got a video of that too. Good afternoon from England. Yay, caught another stream. Yay, MJ. Nice. I was just in London and Birmingham, and a little bit around the area. Also visited Stonehenge. By the way, Stonehenge, have you been there? Isn't that the most overrated place? I'm sorry, I was super excited. My entire life I heard about it and finally went there. I'm like, all right, there's a few rocks in a field and that's it. And nobody really knows what they mean, what the purpose was. It's just an unknown thing, and that's it. And they charge £28 just for the entrance, and then £4 for parking. And okay, that was not worth it. But I got it off my bucket list, so just a few stones there. Well, yeah. Wild Park. It should, I don't want to, diss it too much. It's, I guess it's a historical site and stuff, and they have an exhibition, but I really don't care, right? It wasn't, since they don't know what it means, there's no history. With the pyramids, there's a whole empire behind it, and they built it for a long time, and they know it, and I don't know, there's all kinds of treasures and that is just rocks, and nobody knows why. That's it. Anyways, and then I did the mistake of walking. So you can park there, and then it's about a mile and a half to actually get to the stones, and you can walk, and you think a mile and a half isn't that bad, but yeah, it's 30 minutes walk, and it's just a road. It's nothing really exciting. If you do the walk, if you do it, I mean, I don't recommend it, but if you do it, there is an alternative path to a field, and there is sheep. I know it's not that exciting, but at least, you can feed the sheep, or just I don't know, it's a little more exciting. Or you can take the bus, which has no AC. Anyways, Ayers Rocks may be the same. I don't know, I've never been there. I don't even know where they are. I've been there when I was a child. We didn't have to pay to get in back then. Loved it. Yeah. So when you go through the visitor center, you have to pay for parking, and then you have to pay entrance, right? You can also go to the side road, which actually goes right to the stones. It's not paved, But you can go there, you can park there on the side of the road, it's free. But then they won't let you in. They check your little wristband, like, so you can look at it from the street, but you can't get into the area themselves. They fence that off. So maybe it was different when you were a kid. But, you know, again, like, it was okay. Like, I didn't, it was just a little expensive for what it was. All right, so this is good. Just looking through the photos, that I want to make sure I don't miss anything here. Yeah, here we go. This is good. So my idea here was, and you see it in a minute, that she's on her back and then she's creating like she's using her arms and legs to create some shapes. Let's see where it starts. Here we go. Like this, yes. And I thought that was really cool. It's a famous big red rock in Australia. Oh, yeah. I definitely, so I've been in Australia 3 times, and I've seen videos of that, and I saw some, you know, photos or TikToks or whatever, right? I mean, you have to drive there. It's quite a drive, but it's supposed to be pretty cool. Dang, Australia is huge. Like, holy moly. You can't just like drive from one place to the other. I mean, you can, it just takes forever. Yeah, I want to go back to Australia. I really love Australia. It's just such a cool place. Such a long flight though. Doesn't matter where you're coming from. Well, except maybe from New Zealand, then it's fine. But oh, I was challenged with focus. So you see her feet are in focus, but not her face. So I'm shooting. That's why it's fenced off now due to pop carvings and the names. Oh, I see what you mean. So people were actually kind of like defacing the rocks. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, they have the whole area fenced off now, and then there is another fence, so you can go into that area and you can go all the way around these rocks. But then there is another fence where like you can't go actually to the stones. You're like maybe 10 meters away at the nearest point or something like that. Depends a little bit. So yeah, you can't get to the actual stones. Maybe used to be, but you can get decently close. I try to take some photos and videos. Oh, I didn't even try bringing my drone. I don't think you're allowed to fly there. It's kind of a bummer. Like every cool place, they're like, nah, you can't have drones here. So, oh yeah, I was just gonna say. So here's the thing with this here. So the lens I'm using for most of my shoots, and especially for this one, is an 85 1.2 millimeter lens. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Yeah, so 85 1.2, or shooting at 1.2. And I love it because look at how it creates this super nice blurry background. I love that, and it's just such a cool look. Especially when you have like this bridge here that kind of, you know, goes back into the depth there. The downside is that the depth of field is so shallow that you can either get the face or the legs in focus, not both. Now there is a trick. There is a trick. And I might use that. Maybe I'll do that. So, actually it's not too bad. Let me see. So you pick a photo. You'd basically take 2 photos. You take one with the legs, like that. Okay. And then one with the face in focus. You give them the exact same editing and everything. Okay. And then let's see. So this is the one with the feet in focus. I like that. It's a little too bright here. Let's bring the highlights down a little bit. we have a background issue here. Let's bring this down. I need the subject to be a little warmer, like this, maybe. Okay. Now let's sync it to this one here. Sync, replace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine it. Those are some good photos you took. Thank you so much, Tony. That's awesome. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it was a super cool session. So what I'm going to do is I will bring both of them into Photoshop and then combine them. So I'm going to use the base photo, the one where the feet are in focus. Okay, here it's bringing out Photoshop. It takes a moment. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. And number 2. So let's see. So this one is the one with the face and arms in focus. And then the other one is the one with the legs in focus. And the way I combine them is I am going to make a selection here and select everything from here, copy, paste, right? And then I line them up roughly. The best way to line up 2 photos is to take the opacity to 50%. And then you see basically both, right? And then you can place it. So I'm mostly concerned about the, not so much about the top. She changed her leg position a little bit, right? But I don't care about that. I care about this. The transition that I might see is here, right? Between her body and then the legs down there. So I'm gonna do it like this. Let's bring the opacity back to full. So now you can see like there is an edge. You can clearly see where one photo ends and then the other one starts. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a mask. Here is that little washer icon, right? It creates a mask that just for this layer. And then we're gonna choose the brush and brush away the edges. We're gonna get some of the feet, the old feet back in, but don't worry about it. We're gonna deal with this in a second. So ignoring the, here we go. See, so now we have the face in focus, and then here we gotta create the mask here. See, that's the part where, let's see, where I have to, creating these double lines. Let's see. Now I have to be careful. All right, X. In order to get a good transition, you might have to like get a little creative with the mask here. Oh, no, that was wrong. X. So basically what I'm doing is I'm painting with the black or the white brush, and based on that I'm either showing or like hiding one layer or the other, right? So this is all good. I'm happy with the transition. Now we have to deal with this. We're gonna bring those back to the original form. And the idea is when you do something like that, you use the softest brush possible because you see these edges here, right? I don't like that. So there is a way to deal with this though. So I'm going to create more of a visible line now. And I'll tell you in a second why. So right now I'm creating quite a visible line, right? But I'm going to get rid of it in the next step. Okay, so this is pretty good. I'm happy with this. Now I'm going to flatten it. So no more layers. And now I'm going to use the healing brush here and delete these lines here. There we go, and they're gone. Perfect. And let's fix her knee here. There's a little bruise. Nothing bad, but easy to fix. Cool. And there we go. We have our combined photo. Alrighty. Quit, save, going back to Lightroom. Don't save. We don't need to save the second photo. Do you use a different camera for recording video and slow motion? No, I'm using the same camera that I use for photos. So I just switched from shooting video to shooting photo and back and forth. So it's the same camera. I mean, every camera these days, at least every mirrorless camera, has both video and photo mode. And most have a slow motion mode of some sort. Yeah, it's the same. So I just switch back and forth. It's kind of funny. So I don't know if you remember, like years ago when before slow motion was really a thing, at least in social media, or so photographers would do the behind the scenes. They do a photo shoot, right? And they have the camera, and then they have a phone, they hold a phone, and then they do, like, they film the dancer or whatever they were photographing with the phone, and then as they did the kick or the pose, then they cut to the final photo, right? So you saw like a little bit of the making of, and then it was like the photo. And I never liked that because it felt like this is jump cut, like from the phone footage to the final photo. I'm like, why do I need two cameras? I can shoot video, right? I want to transition to the photo. I don't want there to be a cut. I want it to be just like smooth, right? And so I'm like, all right, I'll just film it with a camera, with my actual camera, film a video, and then just do slow motion to stop it. So that's what I did. And yeah, they're pretty popular now, these videos. Cool. So now we got a photo with the legs in focus, the face in focus, and the background is still cool. Awesome. I'm happy with this. Good. Okay, so we got that. Why did I pick this? I don't really like this one. I picked it. Nah. I mean, it's okay. It's all right. This is more like it. I wanted to create like a shape, like, you know, see how there's a diagonals on the bridge from the structure. So I'm like, what if she does that with her legs? I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. It's interesting, something different. Background, highlights. Let's go down a little bit like this. Okay. All right. Oh, I love this one here. These are good. Let me see. She took a moment to get into that pose. Let's see. Here's one. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. Let me see. Is there anything good earlier? No. What about this one? Yeah, maybe. Why not? Not bad. I'll pick it. I'll come back to it later and I'll tell you why in a second. Just want to see if there's anything else from this. There's this one where she crosses her legs, another crossing her legs. Okay. And then we got this one here. And these, and I've done these already. Did I? Yeah, I picked this. Okay, cool. So let's go to the picked one. So I can set a filter so it shows me only the photos that I picked, which I want to edit basically. So, and then the cool thing I can do is, Actually, this is a stack. I should collapse this. Where is it? Stacking, collapse. There's a cool, like a collapse feature in Lightroom is really cool. So if you have several photos of the exact same pose, say, and then you can all them put them in one stack and collapse them. So instead of seeing 20 photos, you just see one here in the grid view, right? And then if you want to see every photo of that, just to make sure, whatever, you can unstack and you see them again. But it just helps you organize a little bit instead of like, yeah, having them all laid out. Okay, I don't like this one. We don't need this anymore. That was just the face for that one. This is good. I'm going to edit. These are all good. I like them. Already did those. So all I need to do is this one here. Oh, I got a better one. That's why I didn't pick this one. All right, so we're good with this one. These here, I need to do something with these. Oh, the hair is a little bit in the face. Let's see what we can do with these. Nature is always a nice background, but it is also like, what should I say, distracting. There's a lot going on. So let's see. And the way I do this, usually I take the I create a background mask. So it's basically everything except the person. And I make it a little bit darker, the exposure. I make it a little bit softer. And then I take the foreground, which is her, a touch brighter. It's actually already pretty bright. And then a little bit of clarity. Yeah, it helps a little bit. Actually, she could be brighter. What about making her brighter? Here we go. All right, this is good. I'll do the same on this one. That's the cool thing about Lightroom. You just copy paste the settings from one to the other and it does everything for you basically. It's really helpful. It saves so much time. It's kind of funny. She wasn't really like, I don't know if I can do this jump. So she just did it and she made it really good. So obviously, do you paint the mask yourself? No, I don't, MJ. I do. So let me show you actually. So, oh, there's already one. Interesting. Needs to be a little brighter, huh? Like this. So Lightroom has the ability to automatically create masks. Let me see. There is already one. There we go. Let me see if I can find one where I didn't do anything to it yet. This one I can get rid of. Here in this one. This could be a little brighter. I'm trying to find one. Let me see. I already edited this one here. Okay. Yeah, so here's the thing. Like in Lightroom, you can create a mask, right? You say create mask, and you have all these options. And there's tons of options. I don't want to go through everything, but you can say select subject. And it uses AI to figure out what is the main subject in this photo. It could be a person, right? It could also be a car. It could be an animal. It could be a house. So everything that a normal person would consider, hey, that's the main subject in my photo, it'll make a selection out of that. If you do a landscape photo, I don't know what it would pick because there isn't really a main subject. It's the whole thing. But for me, that's really useful. And you can see how it does it. It does a really good job. Like it finds the outlines and makes a mask. I set it to blue just so I know what the mask is doing. It's not, I'm not making her blue. So it does that, and there's another one for the background. And background is pretty much everything except the main subject. So it's basically just, it's doing the same algorithm, just inversing it. What else is there? There's the sky. It finds the sky in a photo, creates a mask for that. That's surprisingly accurate. It's really good. You could paint it by hand, but you would sit there for quite some time. Interesting though, here, that's actually kind of funny. So I guess there's different algorithms for the, actually it's pretty decent. Um, so the sky mask isn't as accurate as the subject mask. So what I do sometimes, because the sky bleeds into the, like, it gets into the subject, I take the subject, the sky mask, and subtract the subject, which is really cool. So like once you have a mask, you can say subtract or add, and then you get the same options that you get for creating a mask, right? So you can say, hey, this is the main subject, but I want to include that rock here. So you can say select object, and now you paint around this rock here, and Lightroom finds it as a, oh, that was dumb. Hold on, where am I here? You say add object around the subject. I was in a wrong mask. So you say you just paint around this area, right? Really rough. And it's like, oh, okay, I think you mean this rock, and it adds it, right? So that's really cool, like an object detection thing. Really cool. Yeah, there's all kinds of masks, and it's all AI based. So that's where like AI is really cool. And then you also have like a brush, right? This is really cool. This is super cool. Let's say, let's get rid of these. Let me show you something, because it's really cool. So I just made a mask for her face, because the face was a little red, like bloodshot. So I made it a little, more neutral. Several years ago, you were deep into flashlight, and then with the reels, you had switched to LEDs with the flash feature. But the recent session, you have no added light. Why is that your reason to change? So I wasn't really into flash. Flash was the only thing that was available. The only reason why photographers use flash is because continuous light is very heavy and uses a lot of power, and it's not really feasible for most purposes to have these huge expensive lights. A flash creates just a short flash of light, which is pretty bright, and that's all the camera needs for a photo. It just needs a moment of light. It doesn't need it continuously, right? Of course, that has all kinds of issues, because now you need a trigger on the camera and a receiver on the flash side. They need to be perfectly in sync. It needs to be in sync with the shutter speed, all these things, right? We consider it normal because that's how photography works, but it really is just a crutch because we don't have enough continuous light. And then once video came out, yeah, you need to have a continuous light for video. You can't use a flash, right? So in the beginning, I had my flash setup for studio and then added some LEDs into it. That created so much more work, because I basically had to bring in 20 lights into each session, right? It was just ridiculous. And then had different switches, remotes to turn them on and off. And then finally I said, I'm going to ditch it all. I'm going to switch to just all LED lights, because really that's what you want. You want one light that works continuously, and then you can take photos whenever you want, how fast you want. There's no limitations. All these kind of limitations on flash is just because it's a flash, right? You can't shoot a burst mode of flash. I mean, a little bit, but not really a lot. Most flashes can't do, maybe they can do 10 frames per second, but cameras today can do 120 frames per second or even more, right? So flash just doesn't work, right? It's always been a little helper to get something working, but the continuous light is the best options. And once that became feasible to do, then I switched to all LEDs. Why don't I add light anymore? I do. I still have my portable Stella lights. I don't bring them everywhere, especially when I'm shooting in a place where it's really busy. That's just it just becomes difficult, and also like in cities, it's kind of hard. They might not like that you set up lights, and someone comes, like security comes or whatever, and they don't want that. So it depends. But if I can, I bring it. In this session, I did not, because again, we were actually moving locations a lot. It was actually difficult to shoot anyways. On that bridge, I couldn't fit it in anyway. So there's this, and then you have this extra huge thing that you have to bring all the time. So there's just some drawbacks about having a light with you. You can't just, oh, I'll just put it in my pocket and it doesn't, it's huge. I mean, you have these huge lights, the light stand, you have the batteries that only last for so long. So yeah, it all depends. But I still use it, just haven't used for this session. Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, I wanted to do this from one to the next. Sync, replace. Oh yeah, coming back to the mask, sorry. Since these masks are generated based on the photo, if I copy and paste the settings, Lightroom is smart enough to not just copy the mask over, because it wouldn't fit. Like for instance here, right? She's doing a very different pose. But if I select it and sync it, and all these masks that I did for this photo, they still work here. And why? Because it created masks specific for that. So like the, hold on, legs, we're gonna get rid of that. And then the face is a little bit off, so this, but you know, the background mask works because, you know, it just is specific to that photo. And then this. All right, yeah, so that works. Here we go. Yeah, I think I'm mostly done with this session. I'm just looking through. I've done all of these yesterday. Should all be good. Oh, I didn't do these. Here we go. I need to edit those. This is good. I really like this look here. And I'm going to try to apply it to these three. Here we go. Okay, this is a little too bright. Yeah, so we were shooting there at sunrise at the beach. The problem is it wasn't like, let's see, yeah, this is good. The problem was it wasn't like this super nice, you know, sunrise. There was, it was kind of hazy, so when the sun came like slowly, so it wasn't like that, I don't know. It was like no, what is it called? It was like a gentle sunrise. Hi again, Molly Gray. Hey, hey. I forgot where you're from. I know you probably told me last time and I forgot. Sky, add brush. There we go. All right, so yeah, the thing with a gentle sunrise is just the issue is that you don't have like strong colors and strong light direction. It was a little bit challenging in terms of getting a good. No, cancel. Hold on. Just want to delete the. I just want to delete this mask, not the whole photo. Gosh. Here we go. All right. So now we can copy paste it to this one. Replace. So what I'm trying to, this is ugly. All right, let me try one more time with this. From this to this. Gosh, no, this doesn't work at all. I don't know why it's creating this yellow. Oh, because these, first of all, the brush can go, and then this one here. Horizon. Linear. Yeah, I did a lot of like, I try to get like the sky looking a little more interesting with these different masks, but it only works to a degree. Let's see. Yeah, this is okay. This is better. blue sky gradient. There we go. All right, let's bring this down here. Oops, where is it? Blue. Here we go. No, gosh, this is annoying. If I pick something here, Lightroom, don't switch to a different mask all of a sudden. All right, this looks better. Here we go. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying things. Okay, this we're gonna copy over there, synchronize, replace. This should be better. Here we go. At some point they stopped letting you sync the crop. So like if I go from here to this, you can't turn the crop on. It's odd. Her hair is flying, sand adds motion to the image. Yes, for sure. I always tell them like keep the hair open instead of putting it in a bun or in a braid. It always looks cool. Because it gives you a sense of motion. Absolutely, it does. It does. So we're going to take this and we're going to copy paste it to this. Here we go. Let's see. So the thing about this jump, this particular jump, when you, and I showed her that in the photos. Let me show you. This is very tight. So see, you want the legs to be high, right? You want to be in an oversplit and want this and this foot to be as high as possible. But you also want to arch back all the way, right? She can arch really crazy. But look, so she was jumping up and then she continued to arch, but then actually the legs are pretty good in this one. Oh, here's one. You see how the legs are high here? And then this is the next photo. Now she's arching all the way back, but the front legs are already coming down a little bit. So if you do it in motion, like as a video, it's not that obvious, but in photos, if the timing of the arching and the legs are not perfectly in sync, you can tell. All right, so this is all good, I think. Let me, where is my, let me see. Okay, hold on, I need to export, but I need to clear up something. Let me do this real quick here. Hi from Germany again. Hey, Stefan. Good to see you. I need to clear out that directory first. Instagram. Delete. Photo. Delete. Okay, so now we're gonna do an export and we're gonna do Instagram and full, and we're gonna do batch export. I'm gonna say choose the Nikita. Where is Nikita? How about we go by things? Here we go. And export. Here we go. Yes, I know. This is just like when you create masks and do, basically if you edit stuff in a different order than Lightroom likes it, something might not look correct. And then when you export it, Lightroom notices that and like, hey, I need to update those first. And then it does that automatically. So that's good. The fact that you can basically make it so it's not looking correct because you're editing in a different order than Lightroom wants you to, that's stupid to me. I mean, it shouldn't matter which one you should, whatever. I'm just babbling here. And let me know if you have questions. So let's see, I have these here. Oh, these are actually the one that I did in Poland, these photos. Let me see if there's something I need to edit. Oh, there's plenty I need to edit. Oh my goodness. There is plenty for me to edit. Let's see. Yeah, let's edit a few of those because I need to get those done too. Okay, let's switch gears to gold. Varvana. These were a little bit of a challenge. Well, the gold session is always a challenge. It is always difficult to, because the gold is kind of like, it's all over the people. It's kind of slippery. It has to stay wet. It's not dry. It's wet, so you have the shiny look. But it's also a little slippery. So she was just very worried about slipping and falling on the hard surface here. So she wanted to have that yoga mat there, which creates a nightmare for me in terms of editing because now I have to edit it out. But I get it because like she's only 10, so you know she was just worried about her falling. But then still, she wouldn't be able to do the same kicks and poses the way she did before we did the gold. Let me show you all quick here. So before we did the gold, she did all these poses here and they were really cool. But then once she was golden, you know, it became much harder for her. I mean, I did here, you can see I did edit it. Actually, no, for the first few photos, she didn't, oh no, she did have the yoga mat there. So I did edit it out. Okay. All right, I did it. Maybe I did use, the AI tool. Okay. All right, let's do, these are all done. Let me just look through those real quick and see if there's anything else that needs editing. These are all good. So, and then I try to replicate the same poses in gold, and we were only able to do so much, or she was only able to do so much. I know it's difficult. Oh, this needs a little work. So the top, we didn't have a top in gold. I couldn't find anything in her size. So we used just a gold fabric that is stretchy. So it, you know, it's a little elastic. So we cut out like a piece and then wrapped it around and then tied a knot in the back. It creates this messy area here. But thanks to Lightroom and the AI-based remove tool, you can create you can get rid of that knot and just make it look a little better sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't work. Let's see. Oh, actually, this is not bad. Let me see. Yeah, this is good. There we go. I like that even better. So now it looks like it's, you know, continuous. Yeah, this is the one before, and this is after. And I just don't like, let me see if I can, what does it do if I just, you know, create this? Because it's so, it doesn't need to be this wide. It was sliding down a little bit. Really what I want it to be is like this, like a smooth, perfect, not wrinkly. But it's like almost impossible to do with the fabric because it's just sliding around and stuff. I eventually did find some tube tops in gold on Amazon, so next time I'm going to try those. Now it's blending it in with the skin. I don't know if that's any better. No, that looks weird. All right, I gave it a try. It looks weird when it just blends in to the skin. That doesn't make any sense. All right, good. Okay, so I guess I did edit those already. Those turned out okay. Let's edit the next one. So What if I just, now here's the thing. So when you edit in Lightroom, you have to do the remove tool first. If you don't, then you get in the issue. And I mean, you can fix it by creating the update, but let's do this. We're gonna have Lightroom help me get rid of this yoga mat. Let's see, zoom in here. It probably won't work, but let's try it. Have you tried other editing software? I did. Sorry, let me look at this real quick. Yeah. So I tried other one. The problem is, like, you know, I'm doing this not just for fun, right? Like, this isn't a hobby for me, it's my work. And sometimes I'm really busy and I have a lot of photos to edit, and I'm really efficient in Lightroom. Lightroom is built well for efficiency and editing a lot of photos and copy paste the settings. So you can crank through a session really quickly with all the tools they have. And I haven't found one that is similarly fast and efficient and has the same features. So that's a little bit of a challenge. That's why I'm like stuck with that. Not too happy about Adobe's like subscription model and all of that. But they have some really, really good tools. So, and I can get my work done quickly. So let's see what this does. So my idea is, by selecting everything under her foot, that Lightroom will create like a reflection on on the ground. We'll see. Sometimes it does that. No, it creates that. Ugh. What the heck are you doing? Yeah, Jesus Christ. No, cancel. Let me go back to this. So what if I do? I don't know. I might have to come up with a better solution. The thing is this, so what if I do this? So in Photoshop, you can prompt and give it, like, say, you know, create a reflection, right? In Lightroom, there is no prompt. You just select an area and it does whatever. And it's geared towards removing something. So it'll try to find something and then remove it based on, yeah, I don't like that yoga mat. Okay. I knew it would be an issue. I knew it. No, I don't want that. How about this? What if I use a regular? Yeah, it still looks like shit, right? You know what? I'm going to deal with it later. Delete, delete. Let's get the look first and then we'll deal with the rest here. What if I have an idea. Let me try that actually real quick. So I'm going to not use this. I'm going to just use the regular remove brush and do this. Okay, that's better. So now it looks like a continuous surface. That's much better already. Okay, cool. Can I blend it with the background? Let's see if that works. That looks a little weird. I'll deal with it later. Okay. So, what masks do I have here? Oh, I just have the subject and the blue light. Yeah, let's copy paste that. Oh, one thing I want to definitely try to like another software is DaVinci. It has a photo page now. DaVinci is supposed to have like really good color editing tools. Um, Problem is that it starts like learning a completely different software. So yeah, we'll see. All right, that's pretty good. What if I remove this whole thing here? This messy bun area. Oh, you know what? It's funny. I was doing a live a while ago, editing some of those photos, and I was like, okay, I want to get rid of that. I don't like the bun. It's kind of messy. So I selected everything, and then it was in Photoshop, and it said create bun, and it added a bun, like an edible bun, you know, like. And I'm like, no, ballet bun, hair bun, not like a bun to eat. Here we go. Cool. Yeah, I wish it would have been a nicer bun, but that's okay. I tried removing it, it works, but then it just looks like a little boy, and I don't like that. Like, I don't want her to look, you know. Yeah, it wasn't the right look. Okay, this is pretty good. I'm happy with this. There's still a little bit of editing to do, but I'm gonna move on now. We can do the same here with the ground. We're gonna attempt, oops, no. We're gonna attempt the same with the ground here. No AI, please. A little more. Okay. Let's get rid of this whole thing. And it's gone. Good. All right, let's crop it a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to use this and then this. Synchronize, and hopefully it will turn out awesome. Cling. Nice. Actually, I like the ground here. I don't mind that there is a few spots of her walking around. I clean it up if I want to. I'm not sure if I really too much bothered by it. The thing is, like, I mean, I don't know if you've seen my work over the years. I'm not trying to be like, I don't like, how do I describe this? I don't like the perfect picture, if that makes any sense. Like, I see a lot of other photographers, especially when they do like work in the studio, their photos look like too perfect. Like everything is just perfect. Every little detail is like photoshopped to perfection, and it's like yeah, it looks great, but it also doesn't look real anymore. It's just too perfect. It's too overcooked. I don't know. I don't like it. So I try to like not go all the way with the editing. So like things like that are on the ground is like a good example. Like a lot of other photographers make the ground like this perfectly smooth surface, and it's just like the toes touching it, and it's this perfect reflection coming off. And I know it's Photoshop because it's not, you know, like it's not done in camera. And I don't know, it's just not my style. This looks like, I don't know, real to me. More real. All right, cool. I already did this one here. That's good. Here we go. All right. What if we start with this? We're going to bring this look over to this one. And I'm going to start with the look. I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to do the remove tool first. Oh, update 2 photos. No, I didn't want that. Hold on. I always make that mistake. Crop. Okay. So this actually works really nice, I have to say. Just using the regular Oh, let me do the AI. Let's see what it does. Only tried it with a regular brush and it worked fine. So let me see what AI does. I don't think it's going to do anything better. It just created another line. Great. Honey, I want to get rid of the line, not make more. No. So let's just go to the remove tool and let it do its thing. And it looks much better. It just looks more natural to me. All right, let's get rid of this guy. And again, I'm just using a regular remove tool. Oh no. I have the stupid AI turned on, so it always does that. Oh, good enough. I'm happy with that. And there is a little bit, for that one we don't need anything else. Regular tool should be fine. Here we go. Good. Okay, I like it. What I like to do is create a little ramp from the ground, like a gradient, and then just bring the color, the brightness down. And to get a little bit rid of the like graininess, I just create this, bring this down, texture and clarity down. This makes the brown a little less crunchy. Okay, good. So, there's a tiny little hair hanging here. We get rid of that. Sometimes Lightroom is so slow with that tool. Like, look at that. Come on, it's just a little brush stroke. Can't be that hard, right? Okay, here. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of this here, the hair. Let's see how good of a job it does on that one. See like how it leaves that mark here, and then you just do the update. And then it's still a mark there. Holy shit. What the heck is this? Ah, come on guys. Seriously, you can't be serious about that. Oh, Adobe. You gotta be kidding me. All right, that looks better. So you're telling me the normal remove tool doesn't work anymore? Like even with the update? See, it leaves those marks here. And now I can do the update. And it's still there. Holy moly, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, I need to look for a different software. That's the answer. How about that? No, seriously, I'm not really too happy with the whole Adobe situation. I will admit it's got some really good tools and it's efficient, but hey Walter, funny. How do you get these little faces in here? It's kind of funny. Oh, sorry guys. My coffee's sitting there. All right, so now you press this little update button and hopefully these black, yeah, it disappears. Okay. We need to get rid of this. I don't like that, so that's a good thing for AI. Here we go. And remove. Nice. Again, you just have to, because we created masks and changed them, every time you do a remove tool, you have to do the update, so it updates the masks as well. And then I noticed here, she didn't paint this area, and that's where actually this tool really does a great job. So you just paint over that area, and then it's done. Same here. Let's see, remove. It just tries to match the skin So like here, created the perfect gold, right? Let's update the mask just in case. I mean, I don't see anything wrong, but you know. Again, I don't like that it is so big. I wish it would. So I let the mom do the whole, like, you know, top, cut it out and attach it to her daughter and stuff like that. But she did this huge, massive thing. I wish it would have been a little smaller, but usually when I do this, it tries to actually, I actually like this. Yeah. I think the first one was the best. Yes. See, this is good. Here we go. Let's update the mask. So this is nice. So here we go. This is what I wanted, like a cleaner. I wish it would be straight and not like just as many folds and everything, but yeah, whatever. It's fine. This looks more like it. All right, good. Kind of happy with this one. Her eyes look a little dark. Let's bring her eyes up a little bit. I have a preset for the eyes. Let's see if they work. Yes. So I noticed when I do a gold shoot that sometimes the eyes look too dark. And I think it is because when you put the gold on the skin, it reflects so much light that the skin basically is brighter than it usually would, because, you know, you've got all these reflections and see, like, you see all the shininess and the specular highlights and everything. And then the eyes tend to be lost a little. They look too dark because it's the brightness of everything else is higher. And then you have to bring up the brightness of the eyes a little bit. A small little thing that I want to edit here. God, is this slow? This is why it's recommended you do all the remove tool before you do mask, and then it's much it doesn't slow down as much. The performance is way better if you do all the remove tool in the beginning before you do masks. Okay, so we got this where she's looking at the camera. See, I removed the bun here. What do you guys think? I don't know, I kind of like having her bun. I think she needs her bun, right? It's fine. I'll leave one like that. So we have one with a bun. With bun, yeah. Even if it's a little messy, I can clean this one up a little bit. Oh, I might have tried that. Yes. Yeah, I tried that and you still see it. God, I freaking hate Lightroom. I mean, like, how do you create a tool that creates a bad result, like within your own software? I'm not doing something that I'm not supposed to do. Anyways, enough of the rambling. Let's get rid of this here. Okay. But yeah, I definitely agree. It with the bun is better. I wish it was a little faster, that AI tool, because literally all I do is like these little small areas and see how long it takes. On the other hand, I'm complaining about something that, you know, otherwise would be very hard to do. Good. Got a cleaner bun now. Yeah, I'll leave the top like that. It's fine. Got this. She's looking to the ground. I'm losing her eyes here. Let's do this one here. I like this one. There's a little jump. Again, she did a great job without the gold, and once she was painted gold, because it's a little slippery. She was just so scared, and it was just very hard for her to do. You know, I'm not complaining. I just, it is difficult to do jumps and athletic things when you're basically, think about standing on a surface, on an ice surface, like in the winter, and you're trying to, like, it's really difficult. You're if you don't land perfectly, you're just gonna wipe out. All right, good. You look great. You just look a little too bright. Okay, this is better. Next thing, I think we're gonna get rid of this whole yoga mat. This is going to be easy because she's not standing on it, so I can just select the whole thing and it will disappear. Isn't there a song from Beyonce? Disappear. And it's gone. Perfect. Love it. Good. All right, so we got to deal with the hair a little bit. See, like that knot, it's just all improvised. You see how we can make this look a little bit better. Help me out here, Lightroom, help me out. I mean, that's why it's hard to kind of like move away from Lightroom, because it does these things like so well, right? There is other software that does it, but then you would have to go into a different like application to do these kind of things. So yeah, let's see here, make this golden. It's just like, you know, when you move, then sometimes you see that the paint isn't perfectly regular. There we go. This is all good. Pretty happy with this one. Needs to be straightened out a little bit. Here we go. Alrighty. Yeah, this is another jump. Like, she was, like, I wanted her to be like a pyramid, right? I wanted the legs to be like, or the letter A, and she was just too scared to, like, so yeah, that's as good as it gets. You know, I noticed that when we did the session, and I tried to like tell her, like, just go a little higher, go a little bit more, like, you know, I want the legs to be like this, and I think she really tried, but her brain just stopped her legs from going the way it should be. You know, like when it's like when there is an abyss, you know, even if you want to, your brain stops you. You're not going to jump, you know, it's just like, you can't, right? So I think that's what happened. Like her brain was like, no, I'm not jumping any higher. This is too dangerous. Something like that. Oh, here's like, look what I did. If you're not changing the lighting, you could take a picture without the mat and cut that in. Yes and no. If she's standing on it, the shadow that she casts also goes on that mat. So if I have a shot without it, it's not going to match, right? I mean, in theory it does, but I've tried that several times. It doesn't really match that well. So if you put it under the foot, basically, you're missing the shadow. I mean, like, it's a possibility. Yes, I've tried that and I've done it, but it's not the best way. Ideally, I just didn't want to have a yoga mat there. I didn't care so much about the footprints, right? It's just like having two different surfaces, and especially when you shoot flat, it's kind of hard to, yeah, you know. All right, let's copy paste something in from here. We're gonna do the, what is the mask here? Oh, that's the subject. Let's see what it is. Okay. Yeah, it's not too bad. What is this mask? Oh, it's the ground. It is the ground. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Oh yeah, here. So I did some editing to try to like flatten it out. Basically, iron the the fabric a little bit. That's what I would have loved for the whole fabric to be. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I don't think it's too distracting. It actually looks like, you know, like the old Greek statues, they were wearing, like the old Greeks, they were wearing these long, flowy outfits, whatever. Not saying dresses, but you know what I mean. So it doesn't. She it looks like a statue, right? That's what she looks like, and having that fabric like that, it's not like that bad. Okay, come on, Lightroom, you can do it. I think they did that at Jurassic Park, um, where they uh, forget it. I'm confused. All right, this looks pretty good. Pretty happy with this. She could have a little more gold here. How about that? Looks a little less shiny here. Let me see. Okay, let's try. Yeah, looks better. Okay. Alrighty, let's see. What else do we have? Oh, we have some close-ups. I always love close-ups for gold. That's pretty neat. Let's bring it up a little brighter. Yeah, I think it's a little too much. How about that? Okay, and we're gonna copy paste this to the previous one. I don't know what these masks. Oh my god, I hate that. All right, let me look at what I actually did on this one. What these masks are. Those are the eyes area. This is the background. What is this one? Oh, this is the bun. This is also paint. Okay. Interesting. Why did I not have a subject and then add a little bit of that? Interesting. Questioning my own editing here. Okay. Oh, this looks cool. Interesting how it changes the texture of the skin so much. The grain that looks like grain here, it's not in the color, it's not in the paint, it's actually the skin. It's just when you add paint, when you paint over a skin, the light can't go into the skin anymore. Like this, the skin isn't perfectly opaque, you know, the light actually travels a little bit into the surface. And when you put paint on it or a lot of makeup, the light doesn't do that. So it changes fundamentally how the skin looks. And then you see every little detail and, you know, anyways, let's copy paste this to the next one. Why is there still a mask one? Oh gosh. All right, let's see what happens. Ooh, I like it. Very cool. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. This we can get rid of. No, I didn't want to do that before. I wanted to delete this. This is good. What is mask one? Oh, that's subject. Jesus. Okay, and then this one we can get rid of. That was specific to that one photo. Okay, I'm starting to like it. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Again, I'm a little unhappy with the top. I wish it would be a little more, but you know, I'm gonna stop complaining about it. Let's get rid of these little things here. I wish I could use the regular remove tool because it would be much faster, but apparently it doesn't work. Come on. It's funny because the remove tool, when you use the AI option, it doesn't matter how large the area is, it still takes the same amount of time. Okay, let me try the other one and let's see what happens. The creases add character and reflection. Yeah, I think it looks cool. I think it's awesome. It just changes fundamentally how the skin looks. Ah, shit. Sorry. It's just I always forget to turn it off before I start painting. Okay. Well, I guess now it works. Didn't work with the blue background, which is odd. Even after update. So, All right, that's good enough for the bun. I really like it. Her blue eyes are really like coming through here. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. Let's crop it a little bit here like this. A little bit lower. Yeah, I like it. That's really good. That's really cool. Yeah, I don't think I need to change anything here. Maybe that one hair here that goes to her hand, it's worth getting out, right? What do you guys think? I should probably get rid of that. God, in the old film days, things like that, like you couldn't do that, right? There was no way to do that easily. So you had to really pay attention to every little detail when you were shooting. I'm that old. I started with film, with actual film, physical film. Good Lord, it was hard because you didn't see the result until, it came back from the lab, which was at least a couple of hours. All right, good. This is good. Oh, wait, I wanted to see this one. I haven't done anything to this one yet. Yeah, maybe not my favorite. I don't dislike it, but it's probably not my favorite. I like this one much better. I like this one. This one's really cool. This needs a little work. We need a little work on this one. So first of all, God, this thing is so slow. It's only the first time when you use the brush. The second time it's fine. So, let's see. There's a little hair. We'll get rid of that. Okay. The face is lost a little bit, huh? Not sure why. What are the masks here? Eyes, pupil, mask one. That's the face. What is this one here? Oh, okay. What if I create a mask here and really brighten that up? But also, what about, where's the, here we go, like that. That's better, right? Oh, no. Yeah, that's much better. By the way, so I didn't paint her in silver and gold. This is just a black and white version of the gold. So this is a gold painted, and yeah. I just think it looks really cool in silver as well. All right, this is good. This has a little too much of a warmth. Let's see. What else did I do here? Subject. Yeah, she's a little too warm. I do like it. I do like it. But let's add a little bit of brightness here and here. And much better. I love to use like just a soft brush in the face to just bring out the dark areas, especially for these gold shoots. They just the gold fundamentally, as I said before, changes how the skin looks and also how it reacts to light. Because it's shiny, you can't just light it and expect it to get brighter. Shiny objects don't get bright because you put light on them, only to a degree, a little bit, but not much. It's mostly what they reflect. So let's say perfect example is like a car. Like if you take photos of cars, you really need an environment that has a lot that reflects in the paint. This is what makes the car car paint look good. It's not a light that you shine and it's just like it's so. And once you start painting, once you put a shiny paint on skin, you get a completely different character and how light works. So I had to change my lights quite a bit when I switched from the normal to the gold look. And it's kind of funny because I've seen other photographers do the gold look as well, and they don't seem to understand that you need to change your lighting fundamentally as well. Are you not worried about continuity between shots after using AI removal, either with the floor or the... No, not at all. No, not at all. So I know what you mean. It's actually a good point, because let's say if you do photos for a clothing brand, right? And they put it in a catalog, and then like there's one outfit, right? And then usually when you go to the page where you order it online and you look at the different photos, like there's different angles, then you want continuity between the shots, obviously, because it's supposed to be the same thing just from different angles. So once you start using AI removal tools and it looks different in different spots, it's like, wait, what? This one is not about that. This is just an artistic shot. Every shot lives on its own, right? When I post them or when she posts them on social media, she just, I don't know, we might not even post several photos in a row, and like nobody's going to look at the continuity between the shots. So it's a good point. It's a really important point, but for this particular situation, I don't think it matters really. Okay. I want this look to be here. Well, you know what we're gonna do? Well, let's start with one at a time. What did I do to this one already? Very little. I did the eyes and the pupils. I don't know what this is. Oh, I see what I did. Here we go. Yes. One was brighter than the other and I had to... Okay, good. Okay, good. Now, let's bring in this. Oof. No. We're going to start over on this one. I'm going to do it from scratch. Let's create a mask subject. Come on. Let me rename it, please. All right, and I know I'm going to crank up this and crank this one down a little bit warmer. There we go. All right, we're getting closer. Okay, good. Getting rid of this. And okay. That's better. Her eyes are not her color anymore. We need to bring them back to blue. Because she's got blue eyes, and I think with all the golden thing, we lost her eyes a little bit. All right, that looks more like it. Again, I don't like the, it's like as white as a tire, the whole top. Good Lord. Yeah, next time I'm gonna prepare this thing myself. I don't really like the, I just want it to be a band. I don't want it to be this, probably doesn't work well, right? Ugh. No, it's not like how a body looks like. No, no. No, cancel. Delete. Yeah, no, it's fine. It just bothers me. I wish, next time, next time I'll do better with the whole fabric thing. I always let them do it, and then I'm never happy with it. But I need to. Okay, so let's copy paste it from this to this. We're not gonna do this. We just need one set of eyes. And here we go. Good. All right. Dang, I love this one. This is cool. I love her look here. This eye is very dark. So we're gonna brighten it up a little bit. That's good. I'm happy with this. No, I just want like a little bit remove here, whatever that is. Okay, that's better. Let's figure out how to get rid of these guys. Thank you. I feel like this could be something that, that could be automated. Like, what is this? Like this happens all the time. Hair flyaways. Every photographer that shoots with people hates flyaways. Every client hates flyaways. The hair, like, holy moly! Why haven't the software industry caught on to that and create a tool that automates that? Like, come on, like seriously, nobody wants to have flyaways. There we go. And I'm not gonna waste too much time here now with this hair stuff. The thing is, so like I don't edit everything to the very end, to perfection. So the thing is this, I edit a whole session, right? And I pick the best photos first. I go through the session and I pick the best photos. And then what I do is I edit them, right? And I edit them to a point where I'm, let's say 80% happy with them, right? And then once I have everything edited, then I go through like, okay, which one are really the hero shots? Which are really my favorites? And then I use Evoto for hair, one click. Actually, Stefan, you're right. I tried that. I have the trial version. I tried it. Now that you mention it, I think I tried that. And there is actually a tool right for that. You can say flyaways and it does a really good job. Unfortunately, they have this subscription pay per use, plan. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. Sorry. It does work though. I mean, I have to admit, and Evoto has some good tools. It's kind of funny. I totally forgot about that, and I tried it just maybe 2 months ago. I went to all the options, like, wow, this is really cool. And then I almost said, oh, you know what? Let's see how much it is. And then they came with this cost structure per export or whatever. It's like, nah, no, I'm good. I understand, they have to pay per. They probably have they don't have their own servers. They rent them or buy them from whoever is a provider, right? And then they pay per use, and so they basically just have their pricing structure based on what they have to pay. So I get it, but she's wearing a freaking bed sheet around her chest. So like, holy moly, can we just make this looking a little better? I'm actually surprised it lets me do it, because usually Adobe is like, no, you can't do this. Yeah. Looks even more Greek. No. All right, that's a fail. Let me try it in smaller steps. How about this? I'll do just the bottom of it. That actually might work. And here I don't know. We'll see. At this point, I'm just guessing. Like, I have no idea how to do it to make it look good. Do you have thoughts on the new European guidelines for photographing female athletes? I have not heard of them. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. I have not heard of them. If it's guidelines, then make guidelines for whatever. That's all good. But like, guidelines means it's not the law, right? That's what I'm saying, right? Here's the thing. In general, I don't know. Like, yeah. So tell me what those guidelines are. Maybe you have a link or something, or where to look it up. I'll do some research. It's kind of funny. So I saw a social media post just yesterday, and it was a gymnast. Like, it was sometime in the 80s or 70s, whatever. She was on the floor doing a tumbling pass, and in the middle of the and then, they run, they jump, and they do a few flips, and then they do one high jump, and then they land, right? And at the very high jump, she was doing a split in the jump, which was really cool. And someone took a photo at that moment with a flash, which, at the competition, you never use flash. I don't know why someone was using a flash. Anyways, and so the consensus on that post was, it was like, oh, that's ridiculous. How can they take a photo like that? And I'm like, that is interesting. So nobody's concerned with, like, so I just think it's funny that the athlete doing that is totally fine, but someone taking a photo of that is totally, like, frowned upon. Like, I'm like, wait a minute, like, that is just backwards, right? Well, first of all, gymnastics is just gymnastics, right? There's a ton of sports where they do splits, and so you can do it, but nobody can take a photo of that. Like what is that? I don't get it, So it's just a little backwards. So I don't know. I assume those guidelines are about that. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. So either, like, what I'm saying is, like, either the splits are okay or not okay, right? But then you can't just say, well, I can do it, but you can't take a picture. Like what is okay? So what? And so you can't have a TV station, like, do a live coverage of that, because basically it's also taking, videos. It's nothing but, a bunch of photos in a row, right? So I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me. I don't know if that's what it is about. All right, let's make this one black and white, and let's make this one like that. Like here, we're gonna make the shadow brighter. We need the eyes. It's just always interesting whenever I shoot with a model in gold, or like in silver in this case here. It's always funny how the eyes get too dark. Okay. Oh man, what did I do? No, there's motion blur on it. I don't like that. Okay. Hold on, I need to pick a different one. Must have shaken the camera at this point. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I shook the camera here as well. This one's better. This one's in focus. Pick. But it's easy. I can just copy paste everything from here to here. Why did that happen? Let me see. Let me look at my data. Hello. $250. Oh, that's why. Yeah, $250. That's not enough. Well, usually it's enough, but if you shake the camera a little bit, then yeah. Why did I shoot with 250s? And why did I shoot with ISO 100? Why am I taking photos? All right, this is pretty good. I'm going to clean up the bun later. You know, as I said before, I'm not going to edit everything to perfection. I want to edit everything to 80%, like have the look and everything, and then I'm going to go through, pick my favorites, and decide which ones are the one I really want to edit to perfection. Well, whatever perfection means, but like edit them so they're worth for like posting. Okay. And pling. Oh wow, that's bright. Very cool. Yeah, this one eye is a little dark always. I have to brighten that one up a touch. It just doesn't get the light from this side. I had lights mostly from the sides. So this eye just didn't get the light from either direction. So it just turns out to be a little too dark. Okay. I do like it. I do like it. I want to crop it a little different here. There we go. Again, like I might go back into this one and then edit it some more. It's basically the same one. I'm just going to copy paste this here. Good enough for now. Replace. What are you guys shooting? What are you guys editing? They certainly are confusing and diverse. I think their intention is good. There are certainly cases where some shots are unnecessary and perhaps compromising, especially at the Olympics. I know, and I think as a photographer, we have like the responsibility to, you know, like shoot in a way and also like publish or not publish things that are a little compromising or not like most flattering. But it's just, you know, like it's not our responsibility. Like we are not responsible for what we are what is as sports photographers, let's say at the Olympics or national events or whatever, right? The photographer has no say what they're wearing. They have very little, they have no say basically, right? What they're doing or what they're wearing, right? So like it's not the photographer's responsibility how they look in terms of what they wear and what they do. We can only take a photo of what happens in front of us, right? And yeah, there's moments where, you know, it's a little compromising, and I don't think we should do that, or we should, well, you don't know when it's happening. So when you're in a sports event, like you just do a burst and then she does, I have no idea what her choreography is, right? You just take a photo. And then there might be a photo where it's just like weird, right? And like, okay, no, you don't want to post this, right? You don't want to publish that. You delete it again. So there's that. That's for sure. But like, for instance, in gymnastics, they wear these leotards, which looks like a swimsuit in a way, right? And the legs are usually bare. That is not required, right? They often think that's required. No, you can wear full leg coverage in the same color that your leotard is. So you could have more coverage, right? So, but it's a choice not to do it by the athletes or by the federations that, whatever, the national federation for whatever in country, right? So if you look up the Olympics, the dress codes, you can wear full coverage, right? You can wear basically like leggings, right, in the same color. So there's I just think it's just a little bit one-sided. It's worth a discussion. It's just a little one-sided if you put the burden on the photographer that has no say what they're wearing and what they're doing, right? In terms of what's in front of them. So yeah, whoops. But certainly, like, I work with athletes all the time, and there is poses that are just awesome, but there's different ways to shoot it. Like there's a certain angle. Like there's a layout, for instance. Like it's when you have one foot on the ground, you're standing, and the other leg goes up and goes as high as you can. Like right, and especially in dance or in rhythmic gymnastics, you don't want to shoot this facing. Like you don't want to shoot it like facing the camera. You want to shoot it sideways so you can see actually how the oversplit is. You see a little bit of you still see the head arching back and the upper body and the legs go high and the arms go low. So that's a thing that you can decide as a photographer. Again, it's usually photographers at these events are only allowed to be in certain spots, right? It's like they can't just walk around wherever they want. They think they can get a good shot. There's usually an area where they are allowed to be and then not in another area. So if they don't get the right angle, there's nothing they can do, especially when it happens so quick, right? That's when you're like, okay, this is not a shot I should publish, right? But on the other hand, it's not the photographer. The photographer has only so much say, and so you can't have the responsibility on the photographer for the entire shot, right? There's just yeah. Hey, Nikita. Yeah, I'm doing great. Yes. I was just finishing all your photos and I'm uploading them to the Dropbox. So if you look at the Dropbox, all the photos are there now. So yeah, I finally did. I'm working on a video, so those come next. I know the videos are actually even more important, so yeah. But I think there was more discussion. All the regulations require female heads to wear revealing. Again, Bang Droid, this is not true. The Olympics or the dress code is not requiring to be revealing. There is, like the Olympics, the top event allows for full coverage. So it's not that they are forced to do that. That's a common misconception about gymnastics, that they have to be wearing these, the way they do. They could wear something different. Anyways, Nikita, next time we have to do the gold one. What do you think? I mean, next time we still have to do some videos, maybe outside, maybe we'll find another cool location, but we should try to find a studio and do this. I mean, that would look just amazing. All right. Yeah. This is actually pretty decent. Hey Nikita, what do you think? Is this good? She's a rhythmic gymnast too. She's a little younger and she's, not as good as you. But and it's a little hard in gold. But what do you think? I think that's pretty good, right? This is not as good. This is better. This is okay. We can get rid of that one. There we go. Now we're going to get rid of this guy here. Some sports are where regulated cases, like Norwegian beach handball team, for example. Well, that's another thing. So I actually found someone who was reading, and I'm going to read that too. he was reading the dress code for different sports events at the Olympics, and he also looked up the dress code for beach volleyball at the Olympics, and they were wearing these briefs basically, right? And some people might consider that a little revealing, but they can also wear the longer shorts with longer, like with more coverage basically. So it is part of the dress code. They're not required to wear briefs. They can wear different things. They choose to wear these briefs. So it's just, again, like, and I think that's not a discussion that the photographers are part of, right? We're just here to take photos of the events or the athletes and not make decisions about the dress code at events. That's not our cup of tea, and it's not our thing. Anyways, let's make this one work. So here we go. We need a little warmer. This looks really cool. Here we go. All right, so again, like I'm not happy with this, but I think the remove tool will make it look good. I've tried it a few times on shots where we see the knot in the back, and it did a really nice job in kind of making it look clean. Here we go, it's a little weird. Let's see, this is good, look at that. Now this looks like it looks natural, right? So this is the original, and it made this. I love that. This is really cool. Awesome. Yeah, this is. I'm happy with this one. There's a nice high releve. This is good. A little bit of the color is missing here, so I'm gonna use the brush tool to get a little bit more gold look into this. Let's see what it does. Sometimes, or mostly, it does actually a pretty good job. Because it's looking at the rest of the image and what the look is, and then comes up with something. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Oh, here we go. Look at that. So like this is the before, and you can see how there's like some paint missing, and now we have it. Very good. Yay. All right, let's do a background mask. Select background. Let's pull it to black. Here we go. We call it background. I like to give my masks names because once I go back and edit them, I have no idea what the masks are. Does the AI remove use the surrounding colors to fill? So MJ, that's a good question. I think it's looking at the surrounding area, obviously, because it has to come up with something that matches it. But it does it in a different way than the regular tool, which actually does it does a copy paste and then adjust the colors to do that. So there's a fundamental difference in the way that AI literally generates something from scratch based on the look around it. And the regular tool just copy pastes it and then tries to blend it to make it match. So of course I agree, clothing is nothing to do with the photographers. I was just highlighting that these guidelines might not be effective. There are other factors. Again, guidelines are good. They're not like law or anything. I always think that as a photographer, well, I'm not speaking about others. For me, as a photographer, my job is to make the athlete look good, like the best they can. I want to make them look good. That's my job, right? That's my only goal, right? So, of course, I'm not going to do any photos or try to capture something that is compromising or makes them look weird or they don't feel comfortable with or anything like that. I don't want that because that's not the point of it, right? And I don't think any sports photographer at the Olympics or any event wants that either, right? It's just sometimes it happens. You're at an event and they do the choreography and they're coming right at you and they're doing things and it just looks weird, right? And then that's the photo you don't use and you delete it at the end, right? Um, so I don't think it's really a big issue. Like every photographer wants to make them look good, right? They want good photos. They want to publish their photos. They want to sell their photos. They want to get the next client based on the work that they deliver and things like that. So I don't think there's really an issue there that needs to be fixed. There's always some bad apples, right? Yeah, integrity. There is always some bad apples. You need to get those. I don't know. If someone goes to the event with different intentions, right? Well, first of all, to get into one of those big events, you need to be accredited. So what's the word? I can't pronounce it. You get vetted and you have to show your work and reputation. Someone has to recommend you, things like that. So I don't think there is a risk of someone like a bad apple getting to any of the big events, right? And then even if that would happen, they would instantly get outed and like never go to any of the events anymore. So I don't really think there's a big issue, honestly. It's pretty much self-regulating, right? If anybody would do something bad, they instantly get caught and get ousted, and that's it, right? So yeah. All right, good. Let's copy paste this to the next 2 photos, just to have a base. I actually like this shot. Nikita, are you still there? What do you think about this shot? The leg here from the back. I want to hear your opinion because you're a rhythmic gymnast like her. I think it's pretty good. And of course we did the same from the front. Again, that was a little challenging for her because the gold paint is a little slippery, and so when you kick and there's a little bit movement on your bottom foot and you slip, it's it's not good. Not good, not good. Okay, it looks really cool, really like it. Awesome, thank you, thank you. So now I'm going to try to get rid of this line here. And I'm going to do this by doing this. Ta-ta. Oh, it created extra toes. I don't want that. There we go. That's not too bad. Yeah. Again, I'm gonna do the rest like later. I just want to get everything to a point where I'm like I can decide which one is a really really good shot, and then I'm gonna go back and do the fine, because those things like getting this perfect takes a lot of time, and I don't want to do it to every photo if I'm not gonna post this or not use this photo. Okay, so there's a few small things here. Again, this is just stuff that I can just do whenever. I think she was holding on with her fingers and then they created these lines. That's the thing with the gold paint. If you basically hold onto your leg or arm, whatever, like you touch yourself, you see it because the paint stays wet. It's not like it doesn't dry. That's the point of the paint, because if it would dry, it wouldn't look shiny. It has to stay a little bit wet to look shiny, to get that look. All right, cool. There is a little bit more to do here, but I don't want to do this right now. It just gives me a good idea of what the shot looks like halfway edited, and then I'm going to do the rest once I decide. Do you use the photos for marketing or promoting yourself as well as for the client? So first and foremost, the photos are like, if someone hires me, right, the photos are just for the client, right? What they do with them is up to them. most of my clients have social media accounts and they want them to be out. And so we agree that we post them together, right? Or, you know, like how you can make a collaborative post. So I would say that's most of my clients. They want to have their photos up on social media. They don't post everything, but the best stuff. And then I have a few clients that don't even have social media, or maybe they have and they keep it private, and maybe they post one photo and that's it. They don't care so much about the social media aspect. They want to have a memory for themselves for later. Especially like parents do that for their kids. I have one client, or actually I have several clients that hired me over the years again and again and again. So like I have done like 7 sessions with them over 7 years, right? So every year we took new photos, and now they have a perfect, like they have the whole history of their, you know, journey like documented. That's really cool too. It makes me happy. I do post my portfolio basically online, like, you know, like on Instagram I post on here on YouTube. YouTube mostly, obviously videos, less photos. And I do have a TikTok, but I don't really care about it. TikTok is just a mess. I don't want to go into that. You know, it's just yeah, whatever. I have 1.2 million followers on TikTok, so but I just don't care about it. A little more. There we go. Come on, Lightroom, you can do it. Oh, nice. It does a really good job. That was a normal remove tool. That wasn't even the AI tool. That was just a normal remove. It does a pretty good job. So yeah, I'm not complaining. Well, that's good too. Again, it probably needs a little more editing in some areas, but for now, I'm happy with it. Brighter. Lights down a little bit. Okay, good. So I did a bunch of these. Yeah, she's looking down a little bit, but like her releve is really high. So here's the thing, like when I do photos with dancers or gymnasts, it's not just about like a good looking photo, it's also about the technique and the proper technique. So for instance, like here, her releve is super high. That's what you want as a gymnast and as a dancer. Like releve is just when you're just on your tippy toes basically, right? So that's really good. And her legs are straight and this leg's high and this is pointing, that's really good. Unfortunately, she's looking down a little bit, so we can't really see her face. She was just a little bit scared, so she was like focusing down to make sure she's not falling and balancing. Right? This is good. And I said, look up, please. And then she just, maybe she overdid it a little bit. She looked a little too high. That's still a good photo. And then I asked her to do it again, and she looked down again, and then her leg didn't go quite as high. So I don't think this photo is actually that good. So I asked her to do it one more time, point your top foot. So she did point her top foot, but then she's really looking down, and this arm is just, yeah, that's okay, this arm. Maybe this isn't too bad. I wish I would see her eyes. Doesn't have to be looking at the camera, but I do like to see eyes. So let's copy paste this all over. Okay. We changed poses. Okay. But yeah, Nikita, next time we do the gold, we'll find a studio, we'll do the gold. That would be awesome. So this isn't like a really difficult pose. I just think it's pretty. So I made her do a few versions of it. I should probably have a look at them before I decide. So that's another thing. Like I always take a bunch of these of the same pose, like a few, and then I pick the best one. And I think this, we can get rid of that one. That's actually really pretty. I like that. She's using her back a little more. She's arching a little more. I feel like here her chin is better. Let's see. This is good. Oh, is she looking? Yeah, this one's better. Let me look at the legs. That's all good. All right, this one's a good one. I don't think we need this one anymore. This one is a good one. Yeah, this one's the good one. Again, we're going to get rid of this little knot at the back. This is what the normal remove tool does. It just does a terrible job. This is where you have to use the generative tool, where it actually generates something. There we go. See, now it looks good. And again, this is so much. Let me see if I can get, like here, this would be ideal if we cut it off here and just have that top. That's all we need. Okay, that's not good. Ugh. Let's see what the generative tool does. Sometimes it does a good job. Sometimes it just blends it with the... one more try. So if you're not happy with the result, you can do regenerate. So it always creates three variants, three versions of it. Actually, this looks pretty good. And then you can pick from three of them. Actually, this is not too bad. This looks a little more organized, like it's supposed to be, rather than the mess before, right? This looks better. All right, I'm happy with that. Cool. Got to do this again here. Wait, no AI, right? No, we don't want AI right now. Let's fix the ground. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, we're getting somewhere with this. Again, I'm not going to finish everything, but I'm going to get everything to a point where I'm able to decide whether I like it enough to continue and spend more time on editing on that photo. Yeah, that's good. I like it. It's one of my go-to poses. I always like that one. This knee could be a little straighter. Ah, well. She was just a little worried about it being so slippery. And then there is a little paint missing, but I might fix it. I can't fix this right now because, like, if I zoom in anywhere there, YouTube will instantly freak out, and you know, I get it. It's just that sometimes as a photographer you have to like zoom in into some areas and fix that, like edit something, like, you know, whatever. And it's just a little awkward. But like, it's just, you know, it's just what you have to do sometimes. There might be like dust or dirt or whatever, you want to edit that out. So sometimes the fabric kind of folds weirdly, and then you try to fix that, and yeah. Kind of like this one. Again, it's super simple. I wish he would have like this leg, I wanted this to be like here. So she's like actually like kind of like So it looks a little more dynamic. This one just looks like she putting her leg like up and then comes back down. I wanted it to be more of a step, but you know, again, I'm not complaining because she was really struggling with the slippery surface. So I guess it's a lot faster to edit to 80% when you're not streaming. Yeah, like I mean, obviously, you know, I'm trying to explain a little bit, but also, so editing is not just a mechanical process, right? It's not like do the adjustments here, bring the brightness to this level, fix this thing, and then you're done. It's just as much a creative process. So I don't want to rush it too much, you know. So I like to actually take my time. Sometimes, so I edit something and then I'm like, I don't know, does it look good? And I look at it and then I turn it off again like I do before or after. Sometimes I just then, okay, let's move on. I edit a few others, then I come back to it. So it's a creative process and it takes time. You can't rush it. It's not mechanical. So I don't mind actually doing it while streaming and then explaining a little bit as well. I really don't mind it. It basically helps me to make better decisions as well. I mean, obviously I have a few, like when I look at a photo that comes in straight from the camera, I instantly like see certain things and like, okay, I need to do this and this and this. So I go through those steps, but then that doesn't mean that's all I'm going to do, or like that may not even work, right? It might not be the thing that looks good. There's photos that I took and then I'm like, I don't know, does it look good? I can't decide. Again, like, all right. So Nikita, when we do this, we're going to have a better top. We're going to spend a little more time designing a top that fits and looks better than this mess here. Ugh. I just don't like it. But as I said, I actually found a... I don't like it when it blends it in. Like I want there to be a little bit... Yeah, that's better. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just mentioning it because like I've always just had this fabric, this gold fabric, just raw fabric, and then it's a little elastic, and then we just tie it in the back as a knot, and then that's usually what I've been doing. But I feel like we could do better. And I did find some tube tops in gold that I bought on Amazon. They are just perfectly, like they have no wrinkles and stuff. They look actually really good. But I don't know if it fits, you know, that's the thing. Like it has to be exactly fitting, otherwise they're no good. If it's too tight, it's not good. If it's too loose, then it's just as bad. So if there's any other photographers here today, let me know what you guys are shooting. I would be curious to know, because there always are other photographers here in the chat. So I'm always curious. Eyes. She has blue eyes. Let's bring them back into blue. Thanks for the hearts, whoever's sending me hearts right now. All right, and then here, this part, and that always happens. So like when you arch or move, you know, the fabric slides a little bit on the skin, and then it gets rid of it takes a little bit of the gold with it, and then it looks like you're not painted here. But I found that this brush does a really good job in bringing back the color. This is really amazing. Like that's something that really saves me a lot of time. The first few gold shoots, look at that, it looks so cool. The first few gold shoots, I didn't have that tool. It wasn't available. So we always had like a brush there, and we were like carefully trying to make sure that the gold looked even in the photo, like like on set when we were actually shooting. Okay. Wait, is it AI? I don't need AI. I want just a regular one. Here we go. All right. Nice. Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. And I really want to get these photos out because she's been waiting. Oh, no. Varvana is her name. She's been waiting for these photos for a while now. So let's see. I've tried that a few times. She is really good. It's just she was just struggling with the gold, and that's just me being like a little picky here. The back knee should be straight, obviously, and she was trying. Yeah, it's actually pretty decent. This is pretty decent. I don't know if I like this one here. This one's okay. This one I wish she would have bent her knee more, because I mean, like, her back leg is super high. It's really good. If she could have bent that more. Okay. And this one here, I always like to do this one. This is one of my favorite shots when I shoot in a studio. You can't really shoot it outside. I mean, you can, it just doesn't look as good. So let me fix the ground real quick here. Okay. And now we're going to get rid of this line here. All right, that's good enough. Okay, yeah, that's pretty decent. So let's get you into real gold. So, I should probably explain this. This is the way the shot comes out of the camera, the way it's captured. It looks gold, but it's not like really like gold. It looks okay, so I have to do a few things. And one of the things that I do is I make a mask just for her, and then I crank up the clarity, which is, it's like a contrast. I don't know how to explain it. It just creates local contrast. I bring the texture down a little bit. Usually I give it a little more color, and then we go from this to this. So you can see that it looks way better, way better. And then I bring the background down a little bit so it actually is black, like this. There we go. Yeah, that's not bad. I like it. So if you look close, I don't know if you guys can see it on the stream, like here, like you can see a little bit the streaks from the paint. Part of the problem, how did you get your name? It's actually kind of like a funny story. So I wanted to create like an email address. I think that's what it was, like many years ago, right? I want to create an email address. I'm like, okay, usually it's like name dot last name and then a few numbers, and then usually you can't because it's taken. So I was like, yeah, okay. I don't want to give out business cards. That's just so yesterday, right? I want to tell someone this is my email, and they're like, okay, I can remember that, right? And a friend of mine had an email, and it was Shark Tacos. And that was the only email I ever remember of all people that I ever met and like whatever, right? Shark Tacos, I'm not going to say which domain and everything because I don't want you guys to email him. I'm like, oh, that's it. I remember this thing. So I just replaced the tacos with cookies because I thought, cookies, everybody likes cookies. So I just did Sharkcookie, and nobody has ever taken that domain or that email or that username. So it was easy. I had it everywhere, and it's such a weird name, like Sharkcookie, and it lives rent free in your head, right? Because you hear it, you know exactly how to spell it, you know how to spell shark, and you know how to spell cookie, and you remember it. You hear it once, you remember it. That was the whole story behind it, right? Um, because it is so odd that you remember it. That was the whole story. Okay, so all right, let's see. Oh, I did a bunch of these. Okay. Let me figure out which one is the best. What is the difference? Okay, here's her head down. Here her head is a little up. We see a little bit of her shoulders, which actually I do like a lot. I have to admit, I do like that a lot. Gotta fix the background a little bit. I mean, the ground, that's okay, but I don't worry about it. I actually do like that a lot. That's good. What was the settings I used? F8. Yeah. Okay. And then, yeah, she changed her arms a little bit, but honestly, I like these arms better. They have more like purpose. This one looks like, no. Let's remove that one. Cool. Okay. We have a bunch of these here. No. So I remember I struggled a little bit with this one here. So I really like this shot, okay? But, oh, she's switching legs. So here she has her left leg forward, and here she has her right leg forward. I think I like this one better. And then I told her just like lean a little bit more into it, arch a little more. So she did. And then I said, can you look over your right shoulder? I wanted to see her face a little bit, the profile of her face, but I don't think she really got it that far. The challenge was like she was just a little nervous. She didn't know me. I just came. Atomic Shrimp said a similar thing. Atomic Shrimp. Yeah, it's exactly that thing. Atomic Shrimp, right? Or another example that I always bring up is Lululemon. Everybody knows Lululemon. What does Lululemon even mean, right? It is such a weird name, and I don't know what the backstory is, but it's kind of the same concept. It's so weird that, and you still know how to spell it, Lulu and then lemon, right? And that's a perfect brand name, right? So, yeah. All right, I decided that actually this shot is my favorite, so we're gonna do a little bit of editing on this one here now. I want to see if I can get this ground to. God, no, no. Okay, that's not bad. So again, like I'm editing just 80% at this point. I just want to get, oh, that was a mistake. So I want to get overall the look kind of like where I want it to be, and then we'll adjust. Oh, I already did the editing on this one. This looks a little weird though. What did I do? Huh. Oh well, I'll fix it later. Like, I wish this was like, yeah, it's not good. Again, like those little things I'm gonna I'm gonna delete. Jesus, delete this thing. So these are the things that I'm just gonna do in my final pass. It needs some more editing. So subject, we're gonna do a little brighter. Clarity, this a little bit down, touch more color. Yeah, this is good. A little more shadow here. I like to keep the highlights actually because it looks more shiny. It doesn't look bad at all, right? This I'm going to have to tone down a little bit. And then the bottom of her foot, and that's always a problem when you shoot with gold, like the bottom of the feet are always, even if you paint them, you know, you walk around, you do things that just the paint gets off a little bit. And then, yeah, that's revealing a little bit. You can get it back there with editing, but it's going to take some time. And here, there's a little paint missing. I'll fix all of that, but I really like this shot actually. This is really good. You know what if I copy paste to the other ones and just see how they look? I don't know if it's worth editing these at all, to be honest. How are you guys doing? My coffee is almost gone. And it's cold. Oh, now I know why I didn't like it. Yeah, I didn't like the open, like that's why I wanted her to switch legs. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that foot either. Delete. That is one of the things you have to learn as a photographer. You might have to delete your photos, you know, that you spend a lot of time on and effort and everything, and like, no, it's not good enough, right? For someone scared, hi from Mexico. Hey, Mexico, here we go. I love Mexico. I was in the US for 20 years and I love Mexico. That's all I'm gonna say. For someone scared of slipping, she did great. Yes, she did amazing. Like literally, it is very difficult. And she was scared, and you know, it wasn't easy for her for many reasons. Number one, she's young, you know, so she doesn't have a lot of experience. Then, you know, I'm kind of known as a photographer, so she was a little bit nervous shooting with me for the first time. Then that was in Poland, but they speak Russian, so I think they're from the Ukraine. Originally. Oh, I don't know. Well, anyway, so she spoke a little bit of English, but not really well. And then there were like the mom was there, and then there was two other people there. One was a photographer as well. And they were there actually to do a behind the scenes video, but then they started talking to her and giving her directions because the other one was a photographer and she tried to help her. But then there was like the other photographer starting to give her directions in Russian, and like, I don't know what she's saying, and like, this is my shoot. Like, I don't know why you're giving her directions. It was a little awkward. Obviously, I didn't mind her because she knew her. She knew Varvana, and she knew what she could do, and she was just trying to help, right? But it was a little awkward. So there was me trying to give her direction, telling her what to do. There was this other photographer giving her directions. Her mom tried to help her, and then there was I, like, trying to get a good shot, and it was just a big mess. And then she was in gold and she felt like weird, and at one point she was just like, you know, like just rubbing herself. It just, because it feels odd, like, to have that paint on you. It doesn't hurt, it's not toxic. You can actually drink the gold. That it's a mix that I make myself. It's completely non-toxic. You can get it in your eyes, you can get it in your mouth. It's completely fine, but it feels odd, right? You feel odd. So yeah, it was not easy for her. She was in the spotlight and had to like perform, and yeah, she is struggling a little bit. So I'm not complaining at all. She did amazing. You know, it's not easy if you're 10 and everybody's talking to you and giving you directions and expecting, you know. At one point I thought she was like a little bit sick because I felt like, I didn't know, right? And so I asked her mom, it's like, no, no, she's fine. She's just nervous. She just wants to be doing a good job, and she's just nervous. And like, okay, that's fine. All right, no, I don't want it to be gone. I want it to be, no, this is not good. All right, let's try again. It removed too much. I still want you to have fabric there. I just want the knot to be gone. So let's try again. If I leave this, hopefully it connects. No, Jesus, no, no, no. Yeah, it's a little bit of a challenge. So if it doesn't work, what you can do is you can do like in smaller sections, you know. Um, so it will always try to remove something. It will try to find something to remove, right? So if you wanted to just have a small band there, you have to leave something there and then do it at smaller steps. So let's see if there's something usable. All right, this is not bad. This is a good start. Not liking the back here. All right, cool. So now I'm still not happy. Let's try to see what happens if I do this. Maybe it will still connect. Yeah, here we go. Okay. I mean, why not? I take this, right? I don't know. I shouldn't spend too much time on this one. I'm not sure if I really want to use this photo. That's the thing, like you can spend hours and hours editing photos. It's just always, oh, this actually looks good. I like that. All right, I'm going to leave that. So that's the thing, like, and honestly, that was actually an interesting decision I had to make. So when I was doing full-time, when I was switching to full-time photography, I realized, I did the math in my head and on paper to figure out how much work do I need to do to make a living, to make it all work, right? And how much time can I spend editing, right? And I realized, so if I deliver 50 photos and I spend 20 minutes editing each photo, it's not going to work, right? I'm going to spend too much time editing. That's just unrealistic. So I realized, okay, I have to bring down my time of editing a photo to, let's say, whatever, a minute or two, right? So even with 2 minutes, that's already 2 hours, basically, right? Because you have to load them and export them and, sort through them. And all of a sudden, if you just spend 1 minute more in each photo, which 3 minutes still doesn't sound like a lot, all of a sudden it's 3 hours, right? And it's just so it all adds up. And so I figured, like, I need to be within a minute of a photo. With gold, it's a different story. You're going to spend more time on that, that's for sure. God, I like that foot here. Like she's really pushing into her heel here. That's really good. All right, I'm going to keep this one too. I really wish like her head, like she would turn to this side. We could see her profile a little bit here. Yeah. I'm looking forward to doing that with you, Nikita. Because I know you're going to be able to do all these things. All right, very simple shot here. Just sitting. Let's get rid of the ground here. What time is it? Okay. No, I don't want AI. I just want the regular tool. Okay, I like that better. That's good too. Let's blend this one a little bit. Here we go. Looks more like it. Subjects, brighter, warmer, more like this. Okay, I need eyes. The eyes are too dark. More of that. Pupil. She has blue eyes. Bring back the blue eyes. Here we go. As I said before, I don't know if you, for those who haven't been there, like, so when you shoot with gold, the skin is actually brighter than it normally is, because you've got all this shine on it, like it's the reflection and all of that. But the eyes obviously are not painted, so it always feels like the eyes are too dark. It's so weird. So I always have to bring up the brightness of the eyes to match the brighter gold now. Kind of an interesting thing I noticed. So that's good. I need a little bit light here, here, and here. There we go. And a little bit this and this. Face areas. Subject. You know, I have to give them names, otherwise I'm gonna be too confused. Oh, that's pretty good. I like the rest. We're gonna do one for the background. Select background and bring this one down. Here we go. And then we're gonna not brighten it up. We're gonna darken this down here. And voila, we have a decent photo, I think. This is how it came into the camera. So here it worked really well, how I, made it like a little less wide, the top, and I got rid of the folds and the fabric here, so it looks a little cleaner and everything. Yeah, I'm happy with this one here. I'm going to do the bun as well, but I'm not going to worry about it now. It's fine for now. And there's a little, what is this here? Okay, I don't know. A shadow. Okay, good. What else do we have? We have another sitting photo. Okay, so here's another thing. So someone on set had the idea to use this block and then wrap the rest of the golden fabric around it, and she would have like a base to sit on. Unfortunately, they did it. They put they wrapped it around, but unfortunately, it just looks like a mess. Like, it doesn't look good. Like, it looks like someone wrapped some golden tinfoil around something. It doesn't look high end. I don't know. I wasn't too excited about it, and so now I have to go in and edit this block in each photo. I'm not too happy about it. So yeah, I did it here on this photo. This one I already edited, and see, like, I just try to get this block to look good. Hold on. This is the original. Like, it's just a mess. I don't know. But I like the photo. She looks good, right? I've done that already. I've got a silver version of that. Oh, I really like this one here. This is cool. This is a good one. Done that already. There is a few more here that I need to edit. Everything on this block I kind of dread, because I have to, like, look, you can, hold on, let me zoom into 100%. You see the fabric here. It's not a clean edge. This one's bulging out. The fabric looks weird. This, I don't know. And then you see the handprints. So, it, you know, if it doesn't look like a perfectly, you know, like if you have a statue and you have the base and the statue sitting on that base, it you know, looks good, like it's marble, whatever. And the idea was to have this gold, but it just doesn't work. I don't know. Now it's just more work. I should have vetoed that. Anyways. See here, like I cleaned that block up quite a bit, but yeah. All right. Oh, I posted this one today. Nice. All right. And then we went outside. We did some fun photos outside. It's actually raining, so we had to go undercover. Well, not undercover, but like this was a building, and then there was like the third floor was coming out, so there was like a covered area around it. All right, let's try to edit. Let's switch gears, edit some outdoor photos. Holy moly. I haven't done that in a while. All right, okay, I think I'm gonna just do one and then I'm calling it a day for today. I've done enough. This is good. Bring that down. So what I like to do when I shoot outside I often I have the problem that it's distracting. Like you have a lot going on in the background when you shoot outside. There's all these things going on. So what I do three things. I use a lens that has very shallow depth of field, so the background is really blurred out, like here, right? It's an 85 1.2, and it's very sharp, but only like a very small area. You can see, like when you zoom in on the feet, like see like the area around the feet is in focus. A little bit behind her is already blurry, and a little bit in front of her is a little blurry. So very sensitive to setting the focus right. But you know, the camera does that for me. Like the autofocus does a really good job. Okay, so what I do is the second thing is I take the background, you know, I select it here. I'd make it a little darker, which is like exposure, and then the blacks, I pull them down. And I also remove detail. If I use these two sliders, the texture and clarity, and put them in the negative value, it actually removes detail. They look a little bit less, yeah. If there's less detail to find for the eye, the eye doesn't look at it as much, so it's less drawing attention to it. And then the other thing, I just bring up the brightness of the subject a little bit, maybe. Another thing you can do is set color separation. So you can say like the front, the person usually has warm colors, skin colors are a little warmer. So you can take the background and pull that into the blue. That creates a little more separation as well, like this. And maybe the highlights a little bit down. And then you go from this to this, right? And then this looks way better. This was funny. So they drove home, she took a shower, she got rid of all the gold and everything. Took a little bit, but you know, wasn't too hard. And then she ate something, came back and was in a good mood, and we took some more photos outside. All right, gonna copy paste it to here. Unfortunately, security guard came and said, we can't take pictures here. Like, yeah, whatever. And we went to a different spot. Okay. That's a little too bright. I don't think that was really a shot. She was just goofing around and like, yeah, I'll take a photo. Yeah. Look at her. She's so happy. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, she was much happier without the gold. Oh, and then we went to this. Do you not argue? Do you not argue even if you know it's okay to take photos in public spaces? Um, it depends. So here's the thing: I did not speak the language that was in Poland. So there was another guy that was part of our group basically that started arguing with them, and he was in the same opinion. He said we can't take photos, it's public here, and then like I don't know, it was back and forth. So I didn't get involved. But if I do, so here's the thing. Like I've been a professional photographer for a long time, and I've been working for TV a long time ago. So I know a little bit about the laws and where you can shoot and how it is. And most of the time, I mean, it depends on the country, but most of the time, the law is if you're in public space, you can take photos, right? There's nobody who can prevent you from taking photos because it's a public space, and that's kind of, the way it works. When you are on private property, they can say, no, we don't want that. Can you please leave, right? That's their right. It's just like someone coming to your yard and says, we want to take photos. He's like, no, I don't want that. Please go away, And unfortunately, in many cities where there's nice buildings and plazas and whatever, it's actually owned by whoever built all of that, and they just own the whole thing, right? But there is also like a little bit of a difference. So if you are on a public sidewalk, for instance, or on a street or wherever, like where it's public, and you have that building in the background, there is nothing they can do. They can come up and like, we don't want you to take photos. I'm like, sorry, we're in public. I can take photos. So sometimes, like if you have like a plaza like this, right, and like maybe that plaza or that area around the building is private, but then you take a few steps back on the sidewalk, you get the same shot, and there's nothing they can do, right? So you gotta look into the laws and whatever. I don't like to argue with people. I just, the funny thing, I had one. I was shooting in New York is it Union Station or Grand Central? The big train station in New York. I always forget. I think it's Grand Central. Yeah, it's Grand Central Station. The big famous train station in New York, right? And we were shooting there with some ballet dancers, and like there's hundreds and thousands of photos from that area. You just go on Instagram, whatever, and you see thousands, and people do photo shoots there all the time. And then you go downstairs, and it's a subway, and so in New York, the rule was like, it's always back and forth between photographers and the city. And finally, the city said, all right, we're going to make one simple rule. If you use handheld equipment, you can shoot. There's no permit required, and you can shoot in the metro or whatever, right? Anything that's city or public, you can just shoot, right? As soon as you start putting up a light stand or a tripod, you need a permit, and then it's a different story, right? So, and a security guard came up at the Grand Central Station to us, and like, you can't take photos. I was like, I know, I can. No, I can. This handheld equipment. This is public access. This is public, metro here, and blah blah. And like, no, this is private. It's like, no, it's not private. It's city owned. That's public. That means it's public. And I was just so. Like my attitude was like, I'm not going to deal with you. Sorry, I'm just going to continue. And then he just went away. he literally just like, all right, whatever. Like that doesn't always work. That doesn't always work. In that case, I knew it was okay because I literally looked up the laws in New York and what the rules are and what other photographers are saying. And that's the thing, like I know other photographers are shooting there all the time, so. And this is kind of like a mall area, and there was another security guard came like, yeah, it's this private. And I get it, in the mall it is usually privately owned, it's not a public thing. But then the guy was kind of nice. He said, you know what, this is my area. If you just walk into this direction, I don't care because it's not my area. He didn't say like you can take photos there. He's like, it's just not my area. Just, if you walk this direction, I don't care. That's what we did. I like the shoes. That's kind of fun. Anyways, I don't like that the background is kind of like, let me see, like this, maybe less color even. All right, thanks for the hearts. We're tapping the hearts. Thank you, thank you. You have to balance making your subject nervous sometimes. Just time, yeah, it is. Absolutely, especially when you work with kids, like they get intimidated by police or a security guard easily. So yeah, but I've never really had like a real serious issues with anybody. Like, you know, sometimes it's just, usually it's just like police. They don't care. They don't care if you take photos. Right? They don't really. Yeah. Um, and it's always security guards from private property, and they just like, nah, they don't want anybody there, and it's just yeah, mall cops. Alrighty, so yeah, I'm kind of liking this one here. Oh, we took the shoes off. Just after I said I like them. Oh well. Well, here's the thing. So, and that's again like another thing with dancers and gymnasts. If someone has good feet, so it's a fun fact. Dancers and gymnasts are the only ones you can make a compliment about their feet. You can say you've got good feet, and they say thank you. To any other person, that's really creepy. But like no, so like for releve, like if you go on demi point, you want a good arches like that, and she does have good feet for that. So that's why I think we decided, like, you know, we're not going to do the shoes, even though they're cute. We want to feature your feet because you have good feet. Now we're going to do a black and white version of that. And you can tell just by her expression that she was in a way better mood than with the gold. She just wasn't really, you know, it was just tough for her, the gold stuff. Oh no, 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 no. What am I doing? Subject, here we go. I was on the wrong mask. Here we go. I want that to be the shadows a little brighter. There we go. Really, the main thing about this background separation for me is the lens. It's just, I love this lens, the 85 1.2. It's just amazing. Like, you get the background so nicely blurred out. Sorry. There we go. It's a little too bright. That's the same shot. Why did I pick both? Why did I pick both? What's the difference? I think she's arching a little more, pulling a little more over in this one here, right? Yes. So we're gonna keep this one here. Okay, good. Noise. What did I shoot this with? ISO 1000. Okay. Surprisingly little noise. Very good. Oh, this was annoying. Okay, this is funny. I have to tell you guys. So, let's make this a little brighter. Less green. Yeah. The challenge shooting in a mall, you have all kinds of colored light and weird light, and I just hate it. In terms of getting good image quality and correct colors, it's a nightmare as a photographer. I can tell you that much. So this was a bridge over a street, right? There were two buildings, and this was a bridge connecting the two things, and it was like all enclosed. but the glass here was open, like you could see down to the road. And she was scared. She did not want to be on the glass because she was scared of like falling through. I mean, obviously it was strong enough, but you know, the psychology of it. So that was kind of funny. I think in the beginning she didn't really notice it. She did this pose and she did really well. Um, hold on. And then she noticed, and then it was like almost impossible to get her on that thing. Yeah, I don't think I can get good colors out of that here. Yeah, we only have one photo here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. A little too warm, huh? Again, like it is a challenge to shoot in a mall. And it was busy too. Like I'm gonna make a behind the scenes on this one. And yeah. But anyways, yeah, there's more photos to edit. I'm going to wrap it up for now. Done enough for this moment. I'm gonna do a few other things. I'm gonna let you go. So thanks so much for joining me today. I will continue to do these unannounced, just going live whenever I edit. I have a lot of work to edit, like a lot of work to do editing the next few weeks. So I'm gonna just keep doing it. But Sunday is my regular live day. If you want to just come, and then I do a little more like I prepare a session more properly and and just like focus on one, and that's my regular live day, the Sunday. But you know, if you want to stop by on my unannounced ones, I just start them whenever I'm sitting down on my computer and I'm bored editing, and you can keep me company. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you again soon. Bye.